and welcome to GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson Passey from Carolina Girl Genealogy, and I've got this wonderful panel that I love so much that come and help us discuss so many different things in the genealogy world. And of course, right now we are covering season 13 of Relative Race, and we just had day 5, so we're halfway done with the season. They go by so fast. So let me introduce you to this great panel, and then we'll get talking about Relative Race. We have got Laura Hedgecock from Treasure Chest of Memories. And I see Laura, you put it up there so I don't forget. She put her name up there so I don't forget who she is, like I would ever forget Laura. I'm so glad you're here, Laura. Thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
Help us talk about day 5. We've got Melissa Barker, our archive lady, is here. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, everybody.
Good to have you here with your archives. She brings her archives every time.
Everywhere I go, that's where it is with me.
Jenny Hawran from Like Herding Cats is here. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, good to be here.
It's always good. We're so glad that you've joined our little team. We've loved having you over the past week.
Yes. Thank you. I love being here.
It's so much fun to have you. And Jenny likes to live tweet too. And sometimes Shelley's on there as well, live tweeting, and that's just so much fun.
I'm following behind you guys. You type, I'll just repost.
So we're typing and you're reposting. Oh, that's really funny. We've got Bernice Bennett from Genealogist. Hi, Bernice.
Hello, everybody.
So glad you're here too. And we were just discussing everybody. Doesn't Bernice always just look so elegant?
Yes.
She always looks so beautiful. We're glad you're here. And last but absolutely not least, we have Shelley Murphy, our family tree girl from Virginia.
Hi there. Good evening, everybody.
She always brings her mountains with her. So
let's see.
Beautiful Blue Ridge Mountain. You should see me get up and walk away.
Yes. She walks right into the mountains.
Exactly.
I do.
Let's see it.
And they are pretty.
They are beautiful.
Scenery when you're coming on 64. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's beautiful. I've been up there. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, guys, we made it to day 5. Can you believe we're at day 5?
Halfway there.
It's incredible. Day 5. There were some interesting things that happened as they were getting ready to go. What did y'all think about Team Black? What did you think about the gift?
Only in families can you do that.
I know, right?
Yeah. Who wants to tell us what that gift was?
It was a charm. Her sister has this charm.
Yeah.
And it said it was from her father.
Yeah.
And her father, which is also Ashley's father.
Yes.
And her father always called her the oldest and the ugliest.
I can't even.
And
I
so
can't imagine, especially as a girl, I can't even imagine the damage, but it was probably just a joke and she knew.
So it's on this little charm and he had it engraved. And so her sister decided that because Ashley is older than her, and she's no longer the oldest and ugliest, that she would give it to Ashley.
She did.
I mean, you know your family when you're in on an inside joke like that. Yes. That's a deep inside joke.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because at first it was like,
what?
What you know?
Yeah. I thought, I wonder how she's going to take that. But she seemed to take it really well and appreciated it. And knew it.
Like she
passing the hand
the torch. That's right.
Over to the older sister.
So funny. But what a nice thing for her to have, though, to keep, from her sister to be, because
it came from her father.
And it came from her father. So
that was the point.
Yeah, really. She knows she's really part of the family, like Jenny said. So I thought that was great. I loved Eric as he's getting up and he's so excited. And he says, my life has totally changed.
Says he's a totally different man.
Yeah, totally different man.
Yeah,
as he's met.
Both of them are.
Well, both of them are. But, he was really expressing that as he got up and said, I finally met somebody who biologically belongs to me. And, he has been, they both have, but he especially has been so supportive of his adoptive family too, which I have, his brother and everybody else, he says this is not to replace them. I was very fortunate to grow up in a wonderful family. I've got siblings, brothers and sisters. So this is just adding to it. And so
Yeah.
it's been very, very mindful of that family unit. And I know I've appreciated that. And I know a lot other adoptive parents probably
But
appreciate
he said he now has 3 brothers and 2 sisters, or was it? No, 2 brothers and 3 sisters.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
that was
think is what he
yeah,
said. But
right.
I didn't know if that included the adoption or the ones that he's meeting.
I'm trying to think of the
Biological.
picture. They did the family picture at the beginning, and I can't remember now. I just can't remember.
Right.
can't
I
remember.
couldn't.
Well,
figure it out.
it's like my family. People will ask which ones are your adopted kids and which ones are your biological kids, and I go, I don't remember. It doesn't make a difference.
No.
I don't say this is this group and this is this group. You just don't do that,
That's your babies.
This is my
Yeah.
baby, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, I just thought that was really fun that
Yeah.
he was able to express that opinion, and be able to share that. And he's so giddy. It's so fun to watch him because he's just so giddy. So they get their text from Dan and they're on the road. Team
Mhm.
Black had a little bit of, they thought they were going the wrong way.
Mhm.
There's nothing worse than that feeling of, oh, I'm going the wrong way.
And you can't get off.
Yes.
And if I get on this freeway, I can't get off. I've done this
Yes.
before. I'm like
Yeah.
20 minutes down the road before
Yeah.
I can turn around. So
Yeah.
you can imagine if you're on the clock, trying to hurry, that's just gonna. So they were very grateful when they found that they were going the right way. So now we have to remember that Team Blue came in first on day 4.
Yeah.
So everybody else was going to get a 5-minute penalty, which, as they're driving along, they get this text and they have to pull over and have their 5-minute penalty, which I thought was kind of fun, but they all had their unique way of handling
What's it?
that 5-minute.
The dancing, the card playing. Wait, which?
Yeah.
Team
The
Black
team
was
played
playing Go
cards.
Fish or Uno or
Yeah.
Right,
something.
right.
Yeah.
The green team danced.
Green team did a music video.
Yeah.
They made a whole video. Yes.
I hope they show it to us.
I don't know if the crew taped that for them, or but I think that's who taped it, recorded it for them.
Probably. I hope we get to see that at some point. The whole thing, the whole 5
Yeah, 5 minutes. It was
that
so
would
cute.
be that, and of course Team Blue didn't have to because they came
No.
in
Right.
first, so they didn't have to stop for the 5 minutes. But guys, talk about Team Red.
Team Red.
What on earth?
I'm telling you. They decided that they couldn't drive. So they decided to get out of their car and push their car for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I wonder how far down the road they got.
we're
Somebody
wondering.
better been in that driver's seat. All I
Yeah,
got to say.
we were
Yeah.
wondering, did they really do that for 5 minutes, or was that just a fun video for just a few minutes?
But it did look like it was moving.
It
Yeah,
was moving.
yeah. So
We'll put it this way, the drone above was moving.
Yes. That's
like
good,
that,
Bernice.
Bernice.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
That's it. That's it.
That's probably what was going on, but it was funny.
It was,
But actually, it made sense because nobody said they had to stop and not do anything.
Right.
It really made sense, but it
Yeah.
didn't help on
Yeah.
their time.
Yeah,
Because the other
you can't
team
push a
came-
car down the road for 5
No.
minutes without somebody on the steering wheel. You just can't do it.
I know,
You have to
you can't.
Mm-mm.
And they didn't make the faster time either, so it
Yeah.
didn't help
What I
them
was
at all.
afraid was that they were going to be worn out for their challenge.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
That's
good
true.
point.
Because
Yeah,
I
there
was
you-
like,
Good
you're
point.
expending this energy. What happens later? But it turned out not to
Maybe-
matter.
Well, maybe that's why it was, speaking of challenges, when they got to the challenge, they
Mental.
they could choose
They could choose.
physical or the mental. And what did Team Red? Oh, they did
Team
the
Red did the
I guess they weren't.
physical.
Yes, I guess they weren't too worn out because they chose the physical.
The thing
Yeah,
is
they-
you don't know what it is until after you
Mhm.
choose it. And of
That's
course,
true.
when we
Right.
see it, because they tell us what it is,
Mhm.
I would have chosen the physical because I can untie knots pretty well. So
Yeah.
that's what I would have done.
I
Yeah.
would have went mental because not knowing what was physical. No.
I know, but you've gotten all those questions right about the ocean.
No.
No.
No,
Oh, and see, that's what
No.
it was. It was called,
But then
Called
again,
sinking
other
ships.
Sinking Ships. Thank you. Sinking
Sinking
Ships.
ships.
Sinking ships.
So the mental, you had to answer questions about the ocean. I would have never,
I mean,
even if I knew the answers in that
I do know
stress,
there's an Atlantic Ocean, there's a Pacific Ocean, there's an Indian Ocean.
yeah. But I
would
do
have
think
found only ones we knew.
I do.
And you don't have
know-
your doctorate in oceanography.
and
right?
oceanography, is that right? Exactly.
It's in management and organizational leadership, no ocean whatsoever, and no math.
And I do think even if you were somebody who knew all those answers, you get so stressed out because it's
Yeah.
a time thing, it's a game, you're trying to
Yeah.
hurry. And you
Yeah.
just, your mind goes blank. Well, my mind goes
Yeah.
blank all the time as
Yeah.
I host the show, but
Yeah,
but
it was still good.
yeah, it was still fun. It was still fun. And then for the physical, they had to untie knots. And I love Team Greens. All the time, our mother braiding our hair, we
Right,
Yeah.
right.
all the
How
time.
to do
Yeah,
that,
yes.
undo
So
that.
I know how to tie knots. And I thought that was so funny.
Speaking of mothers, before we leave
Yes.
the 5 minute on the side of the road and in the
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
if you remember, Ashley read some more out of her mother's journal.
That's right.
Oh,
She did
yes.
while they were traveling.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was
did.
talking about her mother was in the journal was talking about being lonely.
Yes,
Yes.
lost and
Yes.
lonely.
She was
yes,
at the she was at the convent at this
convent.
time,
Yes.
and she was talking about being lonely. And so, how
Yeah, so
how would that
sad.
make you feel reading that? That was your your biological mother, and
Yeah.
she was pregnant with her. At the
She was
Right.
pregnant at that time, and
Yeah.
I just, to me, it was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
But you want to hear those words. She's
Right.
hearing what's going on, but oh my goodness.
But
Yeah.
what a gift at the same time, because
And I
Yeah.
think her having that journal is because
Yeah.
her mother is no longer alive.
right.
Right.
So having that journal is like having her with her on
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely.
And she mentioned her mother left little breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes,
To
exactly.
find
you
her,
know
and
what
you know, and
would
that's
be-
that connotation of breadcrumbs and finding your way.
Yeah.
You know, and those of us that are mothers, you know, you would do anything in the world for your children.
Right.
And so it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
to me it was very spiritual that she was leaving these breadcrumbs for her
Yeah.
and her journal and all that. So
Exactly.
I think it's just very special.
And
Exactly. And that they would share it with us. That she
Yeah.
brought
Yeah.
it and to read
Yeah.
out of it and didn't just, I mean, she could have had it, but said, I'm going to read this along the
Herself.
way, relative
Mhm.
race, but I don't want it shared. She could
Right.
have very well done that. So I'm really grateful that
yeah,
we're getting to hear that part of the journey, because I think it
I'd
really-
like her to record the whole thing, her reading it
Oh, wouldn't that
Yeah.
be cool?
out,
Yeah, that would be
That
great.
would
Mm.
be really
and to
cool.
be able to have it, because then her daughter gets it.
Yeah.
Will get the recording of that, even
Oh,
though
that
you
would
got the
be-
physical book,
Yeah.
but they hear,
That would
you
be
know, to
great.
read it. You
What a
know,
treasure to pass down through the family.
it is.
To
Oh
really
yeah.
get
All
that
right,
story.
ladies, every one of you record something for your children.
All their
I'm
birth
just
stories or
saying.
adoption stories or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So getting back to the challenge, thank you, Melissa, for reminding us of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it written
It's
down.
on
but
my
I just-
notes.
it's on my notes too, but I just kind of
I have
went,
notes.
yep, I just went right past it. Once they answered the questions or untied all the knots to get their cannonballs, they
Mhm.
weren't done. There
Mhm.
was 3 ships on these
Yeah,
wooden platform things that they had to bounce the cannonball off this little mini trampoline thing and get it just right to knock down the 3 ships. And
right.
It looked hard. I mean,
It-
that looked really hard. I mean,
it
because it was
did
a
look-
weighted ball and they had to put a lot of
Weighted.
effort into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hard.
That's
Those
why you
that
had
chose
to
the mental
angle it.
challenge, they got a physical challenge on top of it. I mean, it
Exactly
wasn't
what they did.
necessary exertion, but I mean, you have to have some tactics and you have to move that thing
Mhm.
just right. And so it was physical and mental.
Mhm.
I
And they
thought
all
so too. It was
they all
pretty
struggled.
physical.
They all struggled with it. And unfortunately, Team Black struggled more. And for the first time
More.
this season, we saw somebody time out.
Time out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're timed out. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt
I
so
think
bad
you had
for
to
them.
have a lot of strength just watching it. Now you're not being there, but you had to have a lot of strength to throw that ball really hard
Yeah.
on that bounce. But then you also had to have it angled just right. And if
Yes.
you'd
Right.
notice, several of those balls never really actually straight on hit those boards, but they
Yeah,
would
No,
bounce the ground
wow.
and then roll or go and then hit the board and it would fall over.
yeah.
And so I just think that was a difficult one. It didn't
That
look
was
difficult.
No, it
It's not
didn't.
making the book of the family
No.
reunion.
Laura says, nope, not that one.
Yeah.
Nope, not that one. That's not making it in. Okay, that was her executive decision. Thank you, Laura. We all agree with you. We all agree with you.
Actually, I think until they actually knew it had to bounce and then hit,
Yeah, once they
because
figured
that
it out,
first throwing out, you didn't know
Yeah.
what it was gonna do,
No.
right?
and being weighted, and how much of a bounce did you need?
Yeah,
and-
you had to do all that and get the hang of
Yeah.
it first. And I think that's why Team Black timed out, is they just
Yeah,
couldn't get that
they
one
did.
last angle. They just
Right,
couldn't
right.
get it. So I felt so bad for it. How frustrating that has to be,
Yeah.
to know that
It
your
is.
time is just ticking away and you have one little thing left to do and just can't do it. So I just felt really sorry for them. So
Mhm.
so they're off to their relatives, and you know, the usual group of suspects is being asked where the roads are, right? As they note as policemen and run into different places, and nobody ever knows where anything is. So it's because we all use our phones and use GPS. Even in tiny towns, it seems like nobody knows where anything is.
And even
Even
and it was Team Red that they went and asked people and they didn't do it on purpose, but they gave them wrong directions.
Wrong
Somebody
direction.
gave them the wrong way
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And that's happened in other seasons before. I don't think
Yeah.
they do it on purpose, but you
I
know,
don't think they do it on purpose.
I don't think they do
Yeah.
it either, but you
You're
gotta
No,
know
I just
that-
think they know and they tell you
Yeah.
and then it's not.
and it's
Right.
not. Exactly. But I still think people are looking at them like going, well, just use your phone. So they must be saying we're on
Yeah.
a competition and we can't use
Right.
Yeah.
use the phone. So anyway, they finally make it, and let's talk about Team Green.
Okay.
Let's talk about Team Green.
Green
Who
tree.
wants to
Yeah.
tell us about Team Green?
Team
and
Green met
Joe
was
Quenisha and Naite. The younger one is her sister,
Yes.
11 years old.
11 years old.
Only
And
a year
Quenisha
older
is
than-
her mother.
Yeah, as well as the sister's mother.
Yes, the sister's,
Sister's
mother.
mother. So she's not related in any way, but I guess
No.
to have the mother on there because the little girl's only 11. So
Right. But did anyone else find it odd? Because, and I didn't hear any, but did anyone else find it odd that Joe did not ask the mother questions about the father?
the father, yes. I was
I
thinking
don't remember
that
hearing
too.
her asking her any questions about
No.
the father.
I didn't
Okay,
hear
but-
her, but
Well,
you know,
maybe
when I
not
thought
in
of the
front of
mother,
11-year-old.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I-
don't think you,
Go ahead, Bernice.
I was just gonna say when I thought of the mother, that was very nice of her
Oh,
to
yes.
allow her 11-year-old
Yes.
Oh,
daughter
yes.
to come on.
To be on this TV show and do
Right,
it.
and maybe they decided we're not gonna talk about the daddy.
It could be.
That may be because
Yeah,
neither one of them
that's
talked about it. And so I
No.
think you're right, Bernice. I think that they
And it
had
may
kind
have
of
been
had
to
that
protect,
decided.
protect that.
and whether it was decided by in advance or on the thing, I mean, I thought it was cool because she just focused on her new little sister
Yeah.
and didn't take the questioning anywhere else.
Yeah.
And you could see that Joe was like the whole time together, she was just sowing seeds or planting roots or however you want to say it. We're going to have fun together.
Exactly.
She wasn't like
exactly.
connecting with her mother so much as she was just like, here's what sisters do.
This is what
Mhm.
sisters do.
But
How
you
are-
also realize her daughter is the same
yes, I was just
age.
gonna say
Right.
that
Yeah.
too. Her
But-
daughter's
And
like
when they showed a
yeah.
picture of her daughter, she looked just like her.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very
It was
interesting.
amazing, the
Yeah.
resemblance.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really interesting. And I love the fact that she wants to be a chef. She wants to bake.
The
and
red
so they
velvet
made- so they
cookies.
made cookies. I thought that
Yeah.
was
I love
so
to see young
sweet.
people when they already have a sense of what they want to be
What
and
they wanna
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
she was
that's a-
sweet.
Yeah, she
She
was very
was sweet.
sweet.
And that's a memory she's gonna have all of her life.
Oh,
you know.
yes.
Mhm.
She met her big sister and they made cookies
Yeah.
together. So, and that made it less awkward because it was something
Mm-hmm.
that she enjoyed doing. And so that probably took any stress that she may have had with TV cameras in her house. And
Yeah.
here's a big sister that I've never met, and we're not talking about the dad. You know, took all that stress off of her so she could just make those cookies. So I thought that was very, very sweet how that storyline ended up. So I thought that was.
So that means he would have passed within the last 11 years.
I don't know. Do we know?
Is
Do we
Dad
know?
passed?
Christy? I don't know.
Know that we know if he's
No,
I don't
passed.
know.
No, they said that even though her dad wasn't in their life anymore, she still wanted to meet Joe. They said that at one
Yes.
point.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
He did
gotcha.
say that.
So
Thank
Yeah.
you. So,
So
didn't say
did-
he was.
So I don't know if
deceased,
that
just
means
said he
he's
was-
passed or the
Right.
parents aren't together,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, Team Red. Who wants
Red,
to go for it with Team Red?
Lord Jr.
Lord. When he said that name, I was like, well, there he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He
So-
met his brother, so Justin, but go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, he met his brother who was a junior to the senior. And he said his brother told him he's been searching for him since he was 8 years old, which is 26 years.
Amazing.
I find it interesting that each of these family members that say, I knew nothing about you, or we've been
Mhm.
searching for you.
Mhm.
And I really think that James, was it James? Or Justin?
Justin.
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 You know, I think he really needed to hear that.
Yeah, I think they all do. I think they all
Yeah.
do. As a matter of fact,
It seems to be a common theme.
Or who, I think that Dan, it might have been Dan that said during the at the end of the show, somebody said, when you hear those words, then you know you've always been loved. When you
Yeah.
hear the words we've known about you and we've been looking for you, but we just didn't know where
Yeah.
to find you. So somebody said that. I think it
Yeah.
was Dan, but I might be wrong. But
And he even knew
thought
his
that was
name. He
beautiful.
knew his first name.
yeah.
But I
knew
didn't
him
know
as
the last
Justin.
name.
Right,
Last
yeah.
names
He
couldn't
knew him as
find
Justin. He said he's just been searching for him.
Right. And what I thought was sad is, their father has died,
Right.
he's, so his little brother's had time to process this, but when you walk into a situation where you don't know, it's got to be so hard because they processed it, even though it's sad, it's always going to be something that, is going to be emotional for you. But
Yeah.
it's got to be hard to be talking with people who've known for a long time and you're just on day 2 or day 3 of finding it out, and he
But
did
didn't he say that? But didn't he say he hadn't gone to the cemetery?
no, he said
Or
he
hadn't
couldn't,
been to he went to the funeral, but he didn't go
he
to the
didn't go to the
burial.
He
cemetery.
did not go
Right.
to the cemetery.
He did not want to see his father buried, is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I have a
You know,
question.
even though there's sadness, there was still hope that
Sure.
the father
Yeah.
was alive, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
But that's a wish, I think, of all the
All of
contestants
them. Mhm.
Yeah, they all
is
want
to
meet.
find the biological mother
Yeah.
or father or
Right.
both, who,
Yes.
and things. So I think Freud is right. Boys look for mamas at a certain age. Girls are going to look for daddy. You know what I mean? They're
Sometimes,
anyway,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Laura,
It-
what we
just-
sorry, Shelley.
Oh, no, well, I really had a different question, and I think it's partly my problem that I'm not good at pulling features together and seeing how people look alike.
Yeah, see, I'm not either.
But he said when he got there, he's like, I saw someone who looked just like me.
Right
And
here.
I had
I didn't get a
trouble. I was
picture.
like,
I saw
I didn't
it.
either. I
I
didn't.
didn't see
Right
it.
here.
It's
I
the
didn't
nose.
either.
It's
It
right
was
here.
right through
Yeah.
here.
I
Oh,
guess it's because the sister looked so much like him.
Yes.
I guess.
yeah.
And the father looked so much. I was looking for that again and I didn't
Right.
see that. So I
See,
think
I
that's-
saw it. So
Yeah.
Wow.
and again, it's right through here,
yeah.
which is
Yeah.
interesting because we're all going to see something different looking at the same
Yeah.
thing.
That's
But
true.
I do feel like that is something he's been focusing on this
Mhm.
season as
Because
much
nobody
as
looked like him.
Yeah.
as much as he's focused on when did you know about me, who looked for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
He's also looking for that physical similarity.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's been big with him. Been really big with him. Let's, who do you want to go to
Sorry.
next? You want to go to Team Black?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ashley and Brenna.
Yeah. Lodi, California.
Yes.
Anybody want to take on that one and tell us? Jenny, do you want to
Sure.
go ahead? Who did
So yeah, she met her first cousin, Jeanette. And
Yeah.
fun fact, my
Yeah.
real name is Jeanette, spelled exactly the same way.
Oh, well then.
Cute.
Not always spelled that way, so I was very impressed. Who was a lovely, lovely woman, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
her father, so Jeanette's father and Ashley's mother were brother and
Mhm.
sister,
Yes.
and the brother was about 7 years older, I think.
Wow.
And I loved I loved that she showed Ashley more photos of her mother, and I
Yes.
mean the resemblance is crazy.
Crazy.
And
Yes,
certain,
it
Now
is.
that I
certain
can
photos.
see. That one I can see.
But
Wow.
even her cousin looked like her mom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's family
yeah.
resemblance there too.
Yeah.
Oh, really strong. And so Brennan just happened to bring a wedding photo of her mom.
She just
said I
saying she
accidentally brought
accidentally
it.
did
Yeah,
it.
accidentally, yeah.
Accidentally.
And Jeanette had a
But
photo
that was
of
amazing.
yeah, Jeanette had a photo of her mother, of Ashley's mother when she was at her confirmation, and
Yeah.
they held them next to each other. Man,
Yeah.
you could see it, their
Oh,
nose,
yeah.
and it was
Everything.
Well,
crazy.
remember,
It was
Ashley's
crazy.
the one that looks, I think, identical to her grandmother,
Grandmother,
too.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah.
And she also
Strong
showed
features.
her a photo of her mother about the time that she would have been
Yes.
pregnant with her, which was
Yes.
that was really
touching.
really moving.
And she
um,
showed the brother and sister picture too. Wasn't
Yeah.
that too? That
Yeah.
was really cute to see that as
Yeah.
well. So
I mean, and the one thing that surprised me, maybe I wasn't paying attention earlier, but I didn't realize how young her mother was when she
Yeah.
passed away, because they showed her stone, Paula Stone, Ashley's mother. And she has, and Jeanette explained it, it says, "What will be" across the top, because I guess Paula's favorite song was Que Sera, Sera, which is, that's
right.
It means, yeah.
the translation.
Translation.
But then when I looked at the dates, I said she was only 38 years old, and I don't know, maybe I didn't realize how young she had been, and it was very, very sad.
is sad.
But just seeing those pictures, that was just, again, it's, you're looking for that connection, who you look
Yeah.
like, and boy,
Yeah.
it's just every
Yeah,
time.
there's
for
no
her.
doubt. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
That's the right family, and
Yeah.
it was very special. Yeah, she's really, their journey has been really touching, and really, not that everybody else has it. I'm just saying, I love their journey, and I guess it has a whole thing to do with the journal, because you're seeing those
Yeah.
pictures and thinking about what the mom had written, about being all lonely.
That's
So
a
you're thinking about-
genealogist's dream, to find somebody's journal.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. All righty, what about Team Blue? Bernice, you
Oh,
want to
that
do
was
Team
sweet.
Blue? You don't
Okay.
have to if you don't want to. It's like, what's on my notes? I don't remember.
I have to go look at my notes. Yes, I do.
That's the
That's
mama
Eric.
was
That's
Mary
Eric.
E. Potts.
So it's Eric.
Morgan,
Eric.
the sister.
Yeah, Eric met his sister.
Eric learned, first of all, that his mother was still alive.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I was
That
so
is so
excited about
cool.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
He
Yeah, and
lost
I
it. I lost it. Jenny lost it.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
lost it.
I lost it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, so
And
it
he
was-
only had his birth mother's first name. He didn't know anything else about the birth
yeah,
mother.
so he met his sister, who was able to
And his
just,
sister, right.
oh, those
Yeah, her
pictures
name
of
was
her.
Morgan.
I
Yeah,
know.
those pictures of her when she was young.
Mhm.
And what got to me was the sister saying, I've got these pictures and I don't have any memories of her looking that happy and content in her life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and knowing that she's alive means
Yeah.
that she still has not seen her that happy. And I think she even
Yes.
was emphasizing the fact that since she had given him up for adoption,
Yep.
that since that time.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That burden has been on her shoulders, and
Yep.
she could see it all growing up. And she knew about him too. So
She did since
Right.
she was a teenager.
yeah.
Yeah, she said she was a
Mhm.
teen.
And
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
people have been looking. And so
Yep.
he is just the most happy. I mean, they're all happy, but he's just exuberant
Oh,
about
yeah.
this. And I think a lot of it is because he spent so many years saying, I don't think I want to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Abe
Yeah.
says, we're going to go on this journey. He says, I'll
Yeah.
come to support you. And now he's like, wow, they aren't my
Right.
people for me. And this has been really good. So, and his sister looked just like him. So
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
doubt that they were siblings.
He just,
Well-
you know, Eric just, he feels things so deeply, and he
Yeah.
just shows it, and you can't help but just
Yeah.
get pulled in and just be
Right.
crying along with him. It's just amazing.
Exactly.
You know,
That
and
might,
Abe,
that's probably exactly it, because all these reunions are beautiful, but
Yeah.
that one was particularly just
Yeah.
Yeah.
very, very touching. Just to watch that immediate connection the second, he heard the word sister.
Sister.
It's
Yeah.
like you could
Yeah.
see something slamming into him.
Yeah.
Like the emotion just like slamming him, because he
Yeah.
wasn't, and just hearing that word sister, and it just.
And
so I
then,
could-
is
that
she
was
still
so
alive?
Ah,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
just,
And the hesitation, that same.
And then we're all like,
you're
that just
describing.
broke me. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I started crying. I was.
I thought to myself, if they tell him they can't tell him because the producer said you can't tell him or something, I was
Right.
gonna go through that TV.
Yeah, right.
Melissa
we've
was
heard that
going after
before.
him.
You know,
Yeah.
the one, remember on another season, the one said, well, that's part of your journey or something.
Yes.
Yes, that's
And,
part of
and
your
that was a very
journey.
logical way of getting out of it.
Right, and actually, I think that's what Team Red. I think that's what the sister told him when he asked for more information and different people.
Yes.
Their life.
Basically,
that's right,
yeah.
she did.
She said that's for you to find out on your
Yeah.
journey. So
Yeah.
yeah. So he's got hope for finding other people. So that will be good. We're on day 5.
I'm rooting for all of them.
I know,
Yeah.
and you know what?
The
I
ones
don't
that
know.
Have
Unless
class,
something
but
crazy happens, we know they're all going to get to find their relatives, unless
we hope so.
they
we
pull
hope
something
so.
dumb in the next few days. But the way it's going, it looks like we're going to get to see all of them on day 9. And so,
I'm not sure I'm buying in on this elimination.
I don't know.
I don't. I just. It seems like it's going to keep everybody going till day 9, all
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
So nobody gets eliminated. I buy into that.
Yeah.
But the stress of being at the bottom.
At being at the bottom, and who's going to be at the bottom on day 9, and
But
then
then
they don't
again,
get to go
2
to day
teams
10.
would have been eliminated too.
Yeah, see, we've had nobody
Okay.
eliminated, so it's
Right.
good. It's good. But I still know that they had mentioned something on day 1 about people coming in first and what they're gonna have some kind of advantage on day 10.
Yes.
Haven't let us know yet. So-
Assuming though, the fallacy in that is assuming the person with the most wins doesn't end up in the elimination
Right.
position on that last
Exactly.
day.
Right.
But so I'm
'Cause
just
that's
thinking,
that's like the
it could
what is it,
happen.
like chutes and ladders.
Yes.
You're just
Yeah, exactly. All the way back down. Yeah. So it must be not who gets the most, but you get something per time you are,
If
Because
you make it
right
to day
now,
10.
yeah.
who's
Yeah.
got the most first place wins? One team does.
Team Blue. I
It's
think
Team Blue
yeah.
because that's
Because
their
Team-
second time.
Team Blue came in first again, and so they got the benefit, which was to find out where they're going next time. So that means they've
Yes.
got all night to plan, and they're going to Pittsburgh. But remember, what we're really looking for too, other than, who's getting that benefit, is that challenge. And of course, I think we all knew with Team Black having
Yeah.
Time out.
Right.
Yeah.
Time
timed
out.
out. There's no way anybody else, because nobody else timed out.
Right.
No,
So
not
they're,
this season,
yeah.
not at all.
yeah, and they would have had to have timed out on day 5 in order for them to, somebody else would have had to have timed out. And since they're the only ones that did, they are now in that elimination, which popped Red up. So Red's back in the race for the
They're back up to
50,000.
basically second place.
So they're back up into that running for the money, where Team Black now is in all they get. And like Dan says, all you gotta do is do better than one other team in the challenge on day 6, and you're right back up there. So
And you can tell, Brennan didn't even try to mask her face. She was upset. Like she
Yeah.
seems like she's a very competitive, and
Yes.
she was very disappointed, and you could just,
Right.
if you looked at her face, she was just like,
Yeah.
oh boy, so
Yeah.
they usually try to be pretty positive, like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna get, she just didn't want to talk about it.
Didn't even want to talk about it. Yeah, that's hard. But
Yeah.
all you do is think, as Team Red was in there two times in a row, and now
Two
they're out.
times.
So they've got plenty of time to get
Now
themselves.
they're in second spot.
Yeah, they've got day 6, day 7, and day 8 to get themselves out of there. So
Right.
they still have
Right.
time. And they've been doing pretty well on all of the challenges. I don't think, well, Red's had issues with the challenges. So other than them,
And black.
everybody else has been doing okay with the challenges. So we'll just have to see what is coming up next. But now we know where Team Blue is going. They're going to Pittsburgh. And
Yes.
yeah, it's going to be, I hope, I mean, I still want Abe to find some more people, but man, maybe Pittsburgh is where the mom lives. Maybe that's where Eric's mom lives.
Yeah.
And they're going next to the mom. But I almost hope that it's Abe's turn again, because he went
Yeah.
a few days and now Eric's gone for a few days. And, even though they're supporting and loving each other, it'd be nice if Abe got to meet somebody that next time. So
Can't imagine the boyhood talks they both have had growing up.
gosh.
And
Oh,
now they're kind of living a little bit of that,
yeah,
the seeking out and all of that.
they're having a great time. They're having a great time. They're doing what boys do in the cars.
Yeah.
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 And having a grand old time on this race, I think. So, and just think about, because they are, brothers, and I think about the sisters too, that they are really going to have, well, and the mom and daughter. I mean, they're going to have some great stories to tell. And not that Team Red won't. It's just that they're friends. It's a different dynamic. It's a different dynamic when it's family. So,
But
those
they
stories-
now have new family, and that's also each other with the bond with them.
Exactly. So much fun. Is there anything that we didn't talk about except for how good Dan looked? Did we talk about how good Dan looked?
Dan
We
was
did.
looking
Gosh.
very
And
good.
really
Yeah,
good.
you did
He
look
looked
Yeah.
He was
great.
looking very good. Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So good to see him looking so well. And I know as we were tweeting, Dan looks great. Relative race people, the official relative race was saying, and he's feeling good too. And that's good to hear. That is really, really good to hear. Anybody who, well, I guess I call it X now, but if you're still on and you want to join us on Sunday nights to come and talk with us as the show is live, it's really a lot of fun. We've got a group of people, about the same group of people that come every Sunday night, and we just talk and have a really good time. There's also a Facebook page, Relative Race Live, that they talk about the show as it's going on. And there's also another Facebook page that's fans of Relative Race, but you're not allowed to say anything in that one because they want people to only talk about it after they've watched the show. They don't want any
Right.
spoilers. They don't want any spoilers in there. So there's different places that you can kind of have fun with other fans during the show, and that's a lot of fun. So can't believe we're on day 5. And we're gonna be at the end before we know it. And
We are.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm already so excited about trying to get each of the teams on for our team reunion that we do. And so, and this year this season, normally, as our viewers that have watched us over the years know, that when a team gets 3 strikes, we would bring them on, right? And have them come talk to us. Well, we can't do that this year because that's not the way they're doing it. They're not, because they can't come talk to us until the season's over. So, because
That's true.
their part of the season's not over. Nobody's getting, the 3 strikes. So we're going to have to wait until the very end and see if we can get them all to
But
come
it's
on.
good
But
that all 4 teams are going to
I love
be
it.
at least get to 8.
Well,
And-
they'll all get to they'll get to 9 and see their
Get to
relative.
9,
But
okay.
somebody will be in that bottom and not go on to 10, which does that mean that
Don't know.
all 3 then? There'll be 3
Or
teams
do
go on to day 10. Or
yeah,
maybe,
I don't know.
That's my theory.
yeah.
Yeah.
The ones or the ones that have the most wins get to go on to day 10, except for if you're in the bottom. So see, nothing with
Yeah,
it could be
we need
anything.
more. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
more information.
It could be anything. We got some
Yeah, my theory is
conspiracy
it's
theories
gonna be
going on
crazy.
here. But I think it's been fun, and it's just been something new and a different dynamic, which you always need to do when you've been on, 13 seasons. And we know that they are recording 14, and I've heard they're looking for teams for 15. Don't quote me on
Oh,
that
wow.
but that's what I've heard, that they're looking for teams.
Don't quote you, you just said it.
No, what I'm saying is gospel truth. I have heard it, but I don't know if it's gospel truth or not. I've heard that rumor. So, but anyway, so I don't know if they're going to continue doing it this way or not. I don't know. I don't know what the fans think. So it'd be nice to know what are you guys thinking about this? Are you are you liking it now that we kind of see how it's working? Do you like this better than worrying about people getting that third strike? I kind of do. I don't like worrying about if somebody's not
And
gonna,
who's gonna leave?
yeah, I kind of like that. So we'll see. We'll see if we like it by the time day 10 comes and how that all works out towards the end, right? Right? Yeah. Well, thanks everybody. As I'm starting to lose my voice now, it means it's time for me to be quiet.
Get off.
Thank you guys for coming and helping me just kind of process through day 5. And we'd love to hear from you, our viewers, and any of the teams that maybe may watch the show. And we are grateful when you correct us and answer any of our questions as we talk about the show. We are excited that anybody watches and
People watch.
and ask us questions. We are grateful for that. So thanks everybody, and we will see you next time on GenFriends. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.